You know this plant. I mean, you've seen it everywhere, right? In offices, shopping malls, maybe it's even sitting in your living room right now. It's the snake plant, and it has this reputation for being, well, basically indestructible. Okay, let's just get right into it. For most of us, this is just a cool-looking, super low-maintenance piece of green decor. I mean, there's a reason they call it the ultimate beginner's plant. It actually seems to thrive on being ignored. You can forget to water it, shove it in a dark corner, and it just keeps on trucking.
But what if I told you that its reputation as just some simple, stylish plant is selling it way, way short? What if its most incredible story has nothing to do with interior design, but everything to do with space travel, ancient medicine, and some pretty mind-blowing modern science?
To really get to the bottom of this, we have to start with the story that made this plant famous in the first place, the legendary NASA Clean Air study from all the way back in 1989. This is the origin story of the snake plant's reputation as an air-purifying superhero.
So you got to understand the context here. This is super important. NASA was trying to figure out how to scrub the air clean inside totally sealed-off environments, like a space station. They were worried about these nasty chemicals called volatile organic compounds, or VOCs for short, building up and making the astronauts sick.
And the results? Wow, they were pretty stunning. In their little sealed test chambers, the humble snake plant was an absolute champ at sucking up some really nasty pollutants from the air. I mean, look at this list. Benzene, formaldehyde, xylene. The data made it look like a little green leafy superhero. And for decades, that has been the story. But, science doesn't stand still. It keeps asking questions, it keeps digging. And it turns out making the leap from a sealed-up NASA chamber to your living room, well, it's a pretty big leap. And this quote right here from a big 2020 scientific review just perfectly illustrates the problem. Your house has drafts, you open windows, you've got ventilation systems, air is always moving around. To actually compete with that, you would need a literal jungle in your house. We're talking hundreds, maybe even thousands of plants.
So here's the bottom line. Yes, the science is clear that snake plants can absorb these pollutants. But in a normal home, the effect of 1 or 2 plants on your overall air quality is, well, it's pretty tiny. So the myth of the superpowered air filter doesn't really hold up in the real world.
But hold on, that is not the end of the story. Not even close. In fact, it's where things get way more interesting. Because if its superpower isn't cleaning our air, then what on earth is it?
To find the real secret life of the snake plant, we've got to travel back in time, way back, centuries before NASA even existed. We have to look at its hidden history as a medicinal powerhouse.
I mean, just look at this list. This is from a huge review in the Journal of Phytopharmacology. For generations, this wasn't just decoration, it was the medicine cabinet. We're talking about a plant used for an incredible range of stuff: coughs, inflammation, pain relief, fungal infections, even as an antidote for snake bites.
So this wasn't just a houseplant, it was a living pharmacy. In its native West Africa and all across Asia, people knew that this plant, which we now call Dracaena trifasciata, had something special inside. Long before there were modern drugstores, this was a trusted, go-to solution that people really relied on for their health. And here's where it gets really, really cool. Today, scientists are taking all of that ancient folklore into the lab to see if these traditional claims actually hold up to modern science. And you know what? What they're finding is remarkable. Okay, so take analgesic activity. That's just the scientific term for pain relief. The Journal of Phytopharmacology talks about how researchers gave extracts from the leaves to mice, and it significantly reduced their response to pain. So that ancient belief that it could soothe aches and pains, yeah, it looks like there's some real science to back that up. And the pattern just keeps going. What about its use for wounds and infections? Well, modern studies found that extracts from the plant showed potent antibacterial activity against some really serious pathogens, like E. coli and Staph aureus. This plant is literally fighting off bad bacteria in a petri dish. And the science is still coming in. This is wild. In a fascinating twist that kind of brings us full circle back to air quality, a brand new study from 2024 found that when a snake plant is exposed to formaldehyde, it doesn't just sit there. It adapts. Over the first 5 days, its ability to remove that pollutant actually increases as it responds to the stress. It literally gets stronger. So what does all of this mean when you look at that plant sitting over there in the corner?
It means we need to look at it with a whole new level of respect and appreciation.
Here's the key takeaway. The popular NASA story isn't wrong, it's just incomplete. It's only a tiny piece of the puzzle. The real story is that this plant is a complex little chemical factory. It's packed with potent compounds that have been used as medicine for centuries, and that modern science is only just beginning to truly understand.
And that just leaves you with this one final thought. We started with this super common houseplant and ended up on a journey through space exploration, ancient wisdom, and cutting-edge science. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? How many other incredible secrets are hiding in plain sight in the everyday plants all around us?